So Europe came out with a song, seems like a lifetime ago, well before I was born, called The Final Countdown. And that's really the nature of this week, the final week of Atlanta Falcons and NFL preseason. This Sunday is cut day. NFL football is officially back. Pretty much. So as the Final Countdown officially kicks off on this Monday, I want to welcome you in to Falcons Today, brought to you by Prize Picks. And the vibes are high right now, Falcons fans, after that last preseason game against the Colts, that 28-point victory. Jack Strand balled out. Let's keep the good vibes going. Let's keep this channel growing. A ton of people subscribed to the channel during the watch party and even afterwards. Let's hit this goal, those nice round numbers. I'm a big fan of them. It's aesthetically pleasing, at least to my eyes. So here's the thing, if you have not subscribed and you want daily, multiple times a day, Atlanta Falcons content when news breaks, rumors are hitting, whatever's going on, the highlights, games, live watch parties, and more, you don't want to miss it. Join in on the fun and hit that sub button to join this Falcons community. So today, day one of the final week of preseason ball. And rather than going over cut candidates, because I've done that before, I'm going to talk about some positional battles. 4 of them that are really catching my attention right now, and not necessarily talking about the person who's winning the starting job, more of the fringe people. So people that, can make that last spot, but also people that could be cut come Sunday. So it's a bit of the mix of people that can make the roster, but also can get cut at the same time. 4 groups I'm looking out for. Yes, I'm going to talk about the quarterbacks. It is very much relevant information. It is the hot commodity, but that's going to be at the end because we've hit on quarterbacks a ton, did it after the watch party as well, considering Michael Penix got cleared, which we will hit on, and we have plenty more to talk about this afternoon as well in regards to the quarterback. So that's why I'm saving the quarterback battle for the end of this show. The first position that I am looking at is the center spot. And no, not with Ryan Neuzil. I'm going to show his face because he is the starter of this team. He was graded as the 6th highest per PFF of all centers in 2025. One of the, rated as a top 10 center, roughly, depending on where you rank him, where you look. But as far as the depth is concerned, it is as followed. There's the UDFA in James Brockermeyer, and then signing in free agency over the offseason was Corey Levin from the Tennessee Titans, who had a solid stint for a reserve offensive lineman. And the thing about James Brockermeyer is, like I mentioned before, he's an undrafted free agent. And the biggest question is, who is going to back up Ryan Neuzil? I do think this team takes a backup center. I think in total they take 9 offensive linemen, so roughly you have 1 backup per position, but the swing tackle is really where you're going to have that difference, why you're not taking 10 necessarily. So it's between Brockermeyer and Levin right now. And with Brockermeyer, he's a UDFA, yes. And against Indianapolis, honestly, for as well as the offensive line played, great protection on the day, over 160 yards on the ground, Brockermeyer was one of the worst. And I'm not just saying that based off the eye test. He was graded. His stats weren't great. He played in just under 50 snaps, 49 snaps, and that pass blocking grade was not good at all. That's very bad, actually. He was graded as one of the worst offensive linemen of the day for the Atlanta Falcons in what was a dominant performance against the Colts, in which the offensive line was graded very highly as well. He did have a penalty and allowed 1 pressure on the day just to kind of tie a bow on, hey, it wasn't a good day for the undrafted rookie. Now, for Corey Levin, he's more of a veteran. He's been in the league for quite some time. He's 32 years old. He was on the Tennessee Titans last year, appeared in 14 games, isn't a starter, but I think he has a much better chance of being this backup, and what he showed against Indianapolis is that reason. Yes, he played in only half the snaps that Brockermeyer did, but when he was on the field, those are great numbers. Those are numbers that, as a backup center, as a backup offensive lineman, my goodness, you can't go wrong with a performance like that for someone who's not going to start. Ryan Neuzil is a very good center. And if things were to happen, if someone is to go down, I would trust Corey Levin a lot more than I would James Brockermeyer right now. Which is why I'm going to say that this is Corey Levin's job to lose throughout this week. I think he's already won the job, and we'll figure that out on Sunday. However, things could change. There's a lot happening internally, which I can continue to harp on with the nature of cut candidates and how an episode like this is to go. But I really think Corey Levin is going to make this 53-man roster. And can be a very solid backup offensive lineman, especially backup center for this Atlanta Falcons team. I got some more positional battles to talk about because they are heating up and we are definitely eyeing them. But the thing is, I have to remind you that we are sponsored on every episode here at Chat Sports, our friends over at PrizePicks. Thank you for making this show possible. The thing is, Dirty Birds, we're so close to regular season football being back. There's one more week of the preseason and you can cash in with PrizePicks, America's #1 sports pick app, and it's that best place to win cash while watching the sports. We have a code. We always have a code. That's code HMA for $150 in bonus lineups instantly if you win that first $5 lineup. And that's the thing about lineups. I'm keeping the season-long one. If you would like to match me, potentially ride this one out. Bijan Robinson, I'm taking the more on his rush yards. I feel like that is a little disrespectful on the number that we see right there. And then Justin Herbert, I think the offense is going to flourish and really open up. He's got a new offensive coordinator in Mike McDaniel. So, hey, I'm taking the more on the Justin Herbert passing yards. You can match me as well. And the way you do it, you download the PrizePicks app today with the code HMA to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win that first $5 lineup. That's code HMA for $150 in bonus lineups instantly if you win that first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. So, continuing my positional battles, the second on my list is the edge room. And the reason that I have the faces of, starters or people that are going to be suspended for 8 games is the little tease here and there. Here's the thing. ESPN just released an article. It was projecting every single team's 53-man roster. And so they went position by position. As far as the edge room was concerned, these are the 6 names that ESPN put out. I agree with a handful of them. You don't sign Za'Darius Smith not to play him. He's probably going to be the starting edge alongside Samson. Those and which is a little wild to think that, heading into the offseason, it was such a young room, and then here you have a 33 going on 34-year-old in Smith and a 31-year-old Samson that are probably going to be your starting edges. I agree with the majority of these. And just a reminder, the reason that JPJ is not on the projected edges is he is suspended for 8 games. So he won't be with the team. He won't be playing. That is why he is not on that list. And then, of course, Jalen Walker is out for the entire season. One person that's really caught my attention that I think, ESPN didn't even notice is Keyshawn Banks. He's had a terrific preseason slate so far. In 2 games so far, combined for 7 pressures, both of which led the Falcons in both games, respectively. 5 against Indy, 2 against Denver. He was the highest graded Falcons defender against the Denver Broncos. And one thing about this edge room is they need depth. They need people that can plug in and play. Not just bodies to have if someone goes down. They need people that are ready to play. And Bralen Trice, I fear, is not ready to play. Kevin Stefanski even talked this morning how Bralen Trice is progressing, but really hasn't disclosed much on the injury. He hasn't played in the preseason yet. He's barely practiced throughout training camp so far, and he's projected on ESPN's list right now. I think Keyshawn Banks has a real chance to make that push to this 53-man roster. I think he's flown under the radar, but in the preseason, he's done terrific. And above and beyond for someone, who is signed from UFL, not expecting to be in this position, has a chance to exceed it, match expectations, and honestly can make an impact on this team if he gets the right chance. One more week, he's got to really prove it through practice in that last preseason game, but I do think he has a chance. I'm going to keep it with the defense for my next position battle that I'm eyeing, and it's in the safety room. And again, I'm not talking Jesse Bates, and I'm not talking Xavier Watts. Hell, I already have 3 people that I am locked in on the safety room. We know who the starters are at the strong and both the free with Bates and Watts. And the way Bates has been able to adjust his career in just 1 year of having Xavier Watts and still flourish, I think is terrific. I'm a big Sidney Brown fan. I think his versatility automatically puts him onto this roster. I don't think you trade for him with the capital that you gave up. It wasn't a ton that you gave up to get Sidney Brown, but I don't think you make that trade without thinking, hey, we're playing him, we're going to start him, or not, maybe not start, we're going to have him on this roster. That is something you have to keep in mind. Now, there are plenty of options, though, that are still in that battle. I think 4 safeties get taken at the end of the day, and these are the 4 names that I'm eyeing for one spot on this team. It's a crowded room when it comes to the depth. Sidney Brown, I think, has a lock, but who can be that fourth spot? Maybe they take 5, but it's still not a lot of space for a handful of names. The person that jumps out on the page for me is DeMarcco Hellams. I've been high on him before. I do think only 4 safeties are taken, and I think DeMarcco Hellams is that fourth. The versatility he has on special teams, what he's shown in preseason ball, he can improve his coverage. That's not the thing. He's not going out there to start. He's going out there to make an impact on special teams. Go make a play if he needs to, if, Bates or Watts needs a break, or depending on the scheme that Jeff Ulbrich wants to, build up. But I liked what I've seen from DeMarcco Hellams so far. I think he is leaps and bounds, improving a lot more than, Jammie is, or even Natrone Brooks, or Darren Hall is more listed as a corner, but he's been in that safety room a handful of times as well. If the Falcons are to take 4, which I think is the right option, considering some other positions probably need a little more bodies, like the edge room, the D-line, hell, maybe even the quarterback room. ESPN said only 2 quarterbacks will be taken, and I think that's ridiculous. And I'm going to get into that. Here's the thing, Dirty Birds. Before I talk a little bit on our quarterbacks before I get out of this show, let me know what positional battle did I not talk about today that is absolutely heating up that maybe I should hit on throughout the week, because that's the thing. Last week of the preseason, it's time to really talk about everything. People are fighting for their livelihood. Their jobs are on the line. If there's something I did not hit today, let me know down below, and maybe the most commented, I can definitely include in a future video this week. Alrighty, let's get to it. Let's talk quarterbacks. And we're going to hit all the pieces because it is definitely important too. We were live. We were about to wrap up our live show on Saturday. And Kevin Stefanski did confirm that Michael Penix Jr. is cleared for 11 on 11s. Stefanski also talked this morning and said that Tua and Penix will kind of split the reps with the first team. So this is a huge day this afternoon for both of them. This is the first time that the competition has been real. 7 and 7s are one thing. I take a lot of that with a grain of salt. It's tight window throws. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. 11s is where the competition truly begins. And we're going to have so much to talk about this afternoon. A lot of it with these two. Now, the thing is, this quarterback battle is heated because it's really all 4 spots. But if any of you watch the preseason game, you know who QB3 is. You know who should absolutely get a chance not just to make this roster, but to be an Atlanta Falcon in September. Cut day is on August 30th. And Jack Strand should be an Atlanta Falcon after that. I truly believe that. What he did against Indianapolis was awesome. Cooper Rush played his role well. He didn't take risks, though. Jack Strand took risks, showcased he has some very good arm talent, and made NFL-caliber throws. I talked about it on Saturday. I want to bring it up again. The throw he had to Bo Collins on the left sideline, and the throw he had to Antoine Wells on the right sideline. Those were awesome. And the stats are ridiculous. He played just over a half and had 212 yards through the air. Had 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground. That rushing touchdown showcasing the wheels. There are a lot of things internally that happen within NFL teams, Falcons fans, that lead into the decisions. Everything that happens with quarterbacks and positions as a whole. I understand that. And I know there are things that are happening behind the scenes even, or things that the media don't know, that are more leveled. And it's why maybe a decision hasn't been made for, can Penix even play this upcoming Friday? Starter's not even named. QB3's not even named. There are reasons that we don't know, that really only the higher-ups, Kevin Stefanski, and maybe some players on this team do know. Strand deserves this spot, and I think he has earned this spot. This isn't just let the fun little undrafted rookie have, get a chance. It's a fun story. No. He played well. Not just well, he looked like the best player on the field. Say what you want. Backups against the Colts, backups on the Falcons. He's making pro-level throws, doing it against people that are also in the same position, fighting for their lives in Indianapolis. That's the thing. Jack Strand deserves this spot. And there's going to be a lot of quarterback talk. I mean, that is the talk for this week. Who's going to be the starter? Who's going to play against Miami? And can Jack Strand make this team? Dirty Birds, we have so much to discuss this afternoon. Starting with the quarterback battle. Starting with Michael Penix being cleared for 11 on 11. If you do not want to miss it and you made it to the end of this video and you have not subscribed, we're on top of it. Practices today. Penix's first time being cleared for 11s. There's plenty to go over. And you do not want to miss it when news happens, when rumors roll, when games happen as well. Join the fastest growing Atlanta Falcons community on the internet. So I'll be back this afternoon breaking down everything that happened in practice. Did Tua or Penix play better? So, until then, Dirty Birds, make sure you rise up, and I'll see you in a little bit.